Hello. Welcome to the Tutors of Life podcast, where we research life so you don't have to. Episode 326. This is your host, Shaun Tutor.
And this is Sam. And this is a talk episode where the tutors talk.
Nice.
Were you like mid-yawn during part of that?
Yeah, dude.
No.
I had to hold back a yawn.
I heard that.
I haven't had my cup of joe yet this morning.
What do you get?
Well, I just got a fresh cup of joe.
Oh, look at you.
To boot my system.
Must be nice.
To get moving.
Must be nice.
Oh my god, yeah. I did it. I'm sorry.
You can't do that.
I did it. I'm sorry. It is what it is. So, you know, what I've noticed, I don't fucking know where I'm going with that. What's going on? What's new? What's happening in the world of Sam?
What did we do this weekend?
Reverb, which we talked about being trash and fat people.
Mm-hmm. Yep, that's right.
Dude, so, I took in, it was like, oh, it doesn't look like we got a lot of work coming up, right? So.
That's going to fall right on me, we said.
Okay. So we just went through and messaged everyone, that like previously wanted work and shit and like whatever. And,
we're just like, our fall's filling up. Do you want to put yourselves on the schedules?
Yeah, we didn't even say that. We're like, hey, we're booking out our fall schedule, scheduling out our fall schedule right now. Are you interested in being on? And people are like, yep. And now our fall's scheduled out, which is cool.
It was wild. We were like not having good luck getting flips. Just a lot of people wanting too much money for their really shitty houses. Yeah. And for like, we've talked about it, for like one-off people, like so people that do flips on like their like as a side job, or have like it's just one or two guys doing it. They're able to do a lot of those flips that we can't. We just have, you know, a business, office people, an office to pay for, so we have to get things cheaper. So like flips were just not coming in like we wanted. And then, all of a sudden we got all these customer jobs and we're like, well, thank God none of those flips came in like they were supposed to.
Seriously. Yeah. Yeah, so it's really good. We are looking at one flip. Hopefully that comes to fruition. And I might have missed out on another one because I didn't answer my phone right away.
Really?
Yeah, looks like I listed it. Like I listed the house.
Oh. He had to have already had it listed.
That's what Kyle and I were kind of saying too. Because we're like, what's the chances he'd get it listed within like 4 days? Yeah. Pretty unlikely. Anyways.
Which is maybe why he called you, because he knew he was listing it.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
Because we've sent him letters before and shit. So that's kind of lame, but it's what it is. Maybe we'll go look at it just to look at it.
Yeah, we honestly could.
Oh. Throw him a low offer. Fuck with him.
Yeah. Who cares?
So anyways. Something though that like people could think about. So I went and looked at a property in Thorpe yesterday. Nice area, nice house, but it's outdated. It's 40 years out of date. But the guy took good care of it. Like, it's in good shape, right? And right now it's like a 310, 15-ish $1,000 house. And if you updated it, it'd be worth like $450 on the low end,
right, up
to like $475. So anyways, I'm walking through it and I'm looking at it and it's big, you know, it's like 3,000 square foot. So I'm like, fuck, dude, for a flip this makes 0 sense. But you would only need to put like 50 to 60,000 in material into it. So like if you were willing to live there, right, if you could, you know, offer 300,000 and you live there for 2 years, and over those 2 years on some weekends and some afternoons and stuff, you just work a bedroom at a time. Yeah. You do a bedroom at a time, so you're able to do the floor in there. You're able to do paint, trim, door, light fixture, and then you enter the next room, right? And so you just do a room at a time. And you work your way out, and then obviously when you get to living room, kitchen, you're going to have to take like maybe a couple days off of work and knock that whole thing out. But I was like, you would have, if you're doing that, you'd have 50,000, maybe 60,000 in materials. So you got around 350, 360 into this place. Then you could take, if you did the work yourself part-time over the 2 years, you would gain $100,000 in equity like that.
Yeah.
Now, if you go to sell the place, you'd have to pay realtor fees, but you wouldn't have to pay taxes. So you'd get like $80,000 tax-free for 2 years of part-time work.
Mm-hmm.
That's, someone's salary, that you're just getting for part-time work over 2 years to live somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess what I'm getting at is like, the shit doesn't have to be that fancy. You could easily, like, you can get ahead in life fast if you're willing to be a little uncomfortable.
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
I mean, you got to, like, to stack an extra 80 grand in your pocket, so maybe you got to start small to build up your first, like, 50 grand so that you have money to put into a property like that and all that shit. Maybe you start with a property that you get in for 5 grand, and then you need 20 grand, and then you sell it in 2 years for 40 grand, and then whatever. So if you're willing to do that, and you're willing to wait and hang out and find good deals, and you're willing to be a little uncomfortable, in 10 years, you could have an extra 250 grand
mm-hmm.
or more.
Mm-hmm.
And I just think that's kind of cool. I think there's so many ways to get ahead and get some extra scratch if you're willing to, like, open your eyes to it.
Yeah.
If you're willing to be a little open. I mean, another way, and even better way, is to house hack every 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
If you fucking house hack every 2 years, so every 2 years you're adding on a 30-year mortgage, duplex, triplex, or fourplex that then you rent out. What's that?
I don't know.
Is that your phone?
My phone's right there.
That's my phone that we turned on the other day.
It is.
Damn.
Okay, you keep going. I'll turn that off.
But so, like, if, like, the other better way is, house hacking. So at every year, I think every year you can move your primary residence. So technically every year you could get a new place, and you can have up to 10 conventional loans. So every year for 10 years, you could move into a different duplex, triplex, or fourplex. Has to be 4 units or less. And by 10 years of being uncomfortable moving once a year, you could have 10 rentals with conventional loans with renters in, and you've got the equity from all those and whatnot, and you got rentals. That's in 20 years from then, or 30 years from then, in 30 years from then you could retire. So if you start doing that concept when you're 30, or like say, okay, so if you start at 20, by the time you're 30, you are easily set to retire without doing anything else by 60. Well, if you started doing that at 30 and you do that from 30 to 40, by the time you're 65, you could easily retire without doing anything else, or like minimal other stuff. So it's just something to think about, that if you do things early on that's uncomfortable, you set yourself up later on in life.
Yeah, I mean, and you, like we said, you got to be smart about it. So, like, when we bought our first house, did you talk about this at all? When we bought our first house, it was not really in the neighborhood we wanted. It wasn't really a layout we wanted, but it was cheaper than anything else, and it needed the same amount of work as everything else. And I will say, our timing was really good. So hopefully, like, the housing market does go down and chill a little bit, because we couldn't have done what we did in this market.
Well, buying on the MLS, no. Not buying on the MLS.
No.
You got to get these. Things have changed. Before, we were able to buy on the MLS,
Yeah.
do that. But now you got to get it off market. But even then, okay, even then, back in 2019, if we would have known off market, what would we have gotten that place off market for? 80 grand?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So much cheaper.
Yeah, if you can get this shit off market, that's how you make these deals work.
But yeah, I mean, we bought that house for.
Do you know how good a fresh cup of fucking Joe is in the morning? Oh, you do. Oaks, you got one. Oh, interesting. Okay, keep going.
We got. I mean, we were just so smart with it because we could have gotten. So we got that house at 145.
Yep.
Yeah. 145, and we predicted it would take $30,000 to $40,000 of work to make it updated and how we wanted it. And all the other houses were 175, 180, and needed the same amount of work.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And I think those ones had smaller lots even, actually.
And by work, I mean, that was pretty much materials only. We're going to have to pull that away from her.
Yeah. So we were smart with it. We're like, we can start $30,000 ahead, basically, by getting this house, even though it wasn't a location we wanted. But we're like, whatever. We'll get $30,000 ahead, put in the same amount of work, and it'll be worth the exact same at the end. If we would have gotten the 175.
Wow, that was 175 would have been worth a little more, but not a crazy amount more. Dude, do you see how pissed off she was?
Yeah, she was very mad at you. Oh, you dog.
Dude, she's so pissed. Just upset.
So yeah, just doing things like that. I mean, we were able to. I mean, we paid off our loan quite a bit because we didn't really understand money leveraging, but that's okay. So we paid our loan quite a bit in the 3-4 years that we lived there. So I mean, we were able to pocket $100,000.
Right.
When we sold it.
Right.
I mean, only technically $60,000 was profit.
So we ended up having like 170, and we got 247 real free. So yeah, about 65 probably.
Mm-hmm. But I mean, we put all that money into it, and we were able to get it back out, which was really nice. So yeah, just doing things like that. I mean, we had to live in a construction zone for a while, but
yeah.
I mean, we didn't have kids, so it didn't matter.
Right.
We made sure the kitchen and the bathroom, like we had a kitchen and a bathroom functioning before we moved in. That's the one thing I would suggest.
Oh, it's nice. Mm-hmm. Well, I don't even necessarily know if I'd suggest that. And why I say that is like, it's all based on your comfort level.
Yeah.
It is very easy nowadays to get by. And so what I mean is like, you can set up a mock kitchen. Dude, literally, you're talking a couple legs. You could rip down a sheet of plywood.
Yeah.
Throw
as long as you have a working refrigerator and probably an oven.
That's it.
Yeah.
It's simple. Fridge, oven. You can use a utility sink, or you can, set up a different drain system to hook up a mock sink. It's pretty simple. Like, you see, if you think of all the flips we do. Yeah. And we pull those kitchens out, and a lot of them are shit. Yeah. If we were to just grab one of the countertops and one of the sinks, and like back at Robin, you know how we had that drain system all set up in the corner by the washing machine? Yeah. We could have just tied into that drain. Yeah. With one of those, set it up on some sawhorses, and we would have had a kitchen in the basement.
Yeah, that's true.
So, and that, I mean, the thing with doing that is how much faster is that going to drive you to get the kitchen done upstairs?
Oh God, so much faster.
So, I mean, we did it fast. I mean, we knocked out like the main level, kitchen, bath, the first.
We didn't have to do anything with the bathroom.
That's right. Yeah. Main level, kitchen, and floors and all that shit in the first 2 months. Yeah.
Yeah, because we bought the house and we had 2 months until our lease was up. Mm-hmm. So we were there constantly, just getting that main floor done.
God damn, dude, we were there.
We spent a lot of time there.
We used to just work hard.
But we did have to, like, obviously sacrifice time away from someone.
Oh, right, from the bones. But we brought her with, and she would just sit there in her bed looking at us like, what the fuck are you doing?
Just hated us.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, like, that really helped set us off. Like, doing that, I mean, we had to, the shitty thing was obviously, like, all the work we put into it had to be from our own money. But if we would have done it.
We took out a personal loan, though.
No, we didn't. We did for our down payment.
No, we didn't. We had the down payment. Mm-hmm. We took out a loan for the work. Remember?
I don't remember this.
Okay. That's how we did it.
Okay.
So we took out a loan for the $20,000 in work we needed to do. And
through who?
Doesn't matter.
Brian Cottrell wouldn't let us.
There we go. Light bulb.
Yep, we did.
Go. All right. Thank you, babe.
Yep.
So.
We did for the down payment too, though.
No, we had the down payment.
No, because it was that separate little thing, remember? It was like a $5,000 thing that we had to pay in like 3 years.
$1,500.
Whatever. Because that one was through Brian. Because that was part of the weed loan.
Okay, whatever. It's
anyways.
Irrelevant. We had to put like 5% down, and it wasn't a lot. And I'm pretty sure we had it. But so, yeah, we just saved up some money for the down payment, and then we took out a separate loan for the...
Mm-hmm. But we were able to pay that off very strategically quickly, so it was nice. But yeah, I mean... Even if we weren't able to do that, we could have very easily just every month, whatever money we saved, been able to put towards the house.
Yep.
It would have been so easy.
Yeah, it would have been. And there's a lot of things, like we went and got new cabinets and new counters and shit. If we would have just hung out on Facebook.
We would have found everything.
Dude, I've found so many fucking kitchens on Facebook that you can make work and stuff. I just choose not to do them. And what a lot of people don't know is like a lot of those kitchens, if you go get them and you find where they're manufactured, you can order them. Then you can take a panel from that kitchen into where's that place? Accent? Into like a painting place. Give them the sample color, give them the cabinet, they'll paint it the same, you add it to your kitchen. So like as long as you're not buying like a 20-year-old kitchen and you're buying like a 5-year-old kitchen or something, even then actually we've bought an older kitchen and had someone make cabinet similar. So I don't know, you can get creative and stuff. If you're like one cabinet short, you can be like, fuck dude, you could have someone make you a similar cabinet and then bring it in.
And I highly recommend, if you're doing that, sell the cabinets you're taking out, because we did. Yeah, that's right. And
they
sold so fast.
Yeah, it was like $250 and it was gone right away.
Yeah, we could have definitely listed it for way more.
Oh man, I totally forgot about that.
Since we're just gonna keep talking about renovating houses, why not?
Well, I wanted to switch topics.
Did you?
No,
okay.
But I just want to fuck with you.
Definitely do your research and what products you put in, because we really wanted dark floors. And
that was a fucking royal mistake. That was a big mistake.
Big mistake. We didn't do our research on these floors at all. And they were like wood. It was wood panels? Or
laminate.
But they were wood.
Yeah, laminate has like a wood layer on top. Not vinyl. It's laminate. It's got like a wood top. We had to cut it with a saw and shit.
Yeah. So what we didn't do our research and discover is that dogs scratch it really easily. Mm-hmm. And when it's dark, you see those scratches.
Everything.
And since we have a light-haired colored dog, you could see all the dust, all the hair, everything. It was so bad.
Kitchen was pretty cool, though.
I do miss that kitchen, actually.
Kitchen was good. We had a wine fridge.
We did have a wine fridge.
Oh, man.
Highly recommend. If you have room for a wine fridge, fucking get it, dude.
God, dude, you can't tell me that place was a little bit cooler than this.
Oh, I would go back to that house.
Would you really?
In a heartbeat.
Oh, really? Even with the yard?
Nope. I forget that we don't have that big side yard. Yep. Nope. Never mind.
I will admit this, though.
If we got that side yard.
This yard isn't 100% necessary. This is a little big.
Yeah, we got it because you were going to store all of your trailers. And
I know.
So it was really handy when you had all your trailers and everything here.
Yeah, and then we got a shop.
Yeah.
And now it's like, fuck, this place is huge for upkeep. Mm-hmm. I think about that. This bitch is massive. Mm-hmm. And then we've got 1/3 acre up front, 2/3 acre in the back. It's just fucking big.
It's a good party place, but we don't have parties.
We're not that type of people.
No.
So anyways, yeah, dude, thinking about shit like that, like, god dang. What can you do?
White cabinets show so much dirt and dust as well. I think our navy blue cabinets look way cleaner than our white ones ever did.
Oh God, yeah. Big time.
Everything. Oh.
And there's other things, guys. Wait, the white show a lot more.
The white shows a lot more.
Yeah, of course. There's some things that, like, if you know us and reach out to us and are wondering, like, because we flip a decent amount, there's certain products that last better, like Sam was saying, that are better than others. But then there's also some, like, hacks. So if you want to do, like, quartz countertops or something, like, we know Home Depot, if they get in, like, they'll have clearance quartz and granite and shit. And so if you're by a Home Depot, or you can go to a Home Depot and you can get one and then get them cut to fit, I mean, dude, you can save
so much money.
So much fucking money. Thousands. You can save thousands doing that. The thing is, you have to be creative. Whatever you're doing, you have to be creative. And that's what's tough, dude, is like being creative is not easy.
Yeah. When we first bought Robin, I immediately like had this vision of the house. And I was like, Shaun, if we take out this wall and this wall, like this kitchen is going to be beautiful. It'll be so bright, blah, blah, blah. And Shaun could not see it. He's like, I'm just going to trust you.
I just took out walls.
Yep. And I was just like, we can move the fridge over here, do this, blah, blah, blah. And he was just like so lost.
Yeah.
But then like once Shaun got into it, like into doing the work, he's just like, oh yeah, I see it.
Yep.
So yeah, I mean, and we had like a whole bunch of other ideas we wanted to do to that house that
we had to get out.
We
had to stick to the plan and get out.
Yep.
That's what you got to do. You know, and maybe that's where we're at with this house. Sam hates me.
Yep.
But anyways, where are we heading from here? What's the discussion? Are we having discussions? What else is there?
Of life or what?
Yeah. Okay. You got something or no?
No, I was just going to say the little bit of the Communist Manifesto that I've been reading has... So the book I got, 2/3 of it is like the history of communism, basically. And just talks about communism. And then the last third is the actual Communist Manifesto. So it's a tough read, but it's been interesting just because like you do get to read all about like how people perceived it and whatever and blah, blah, blah. But it was interesting because, and we've talked about this, how in there they talk about how they used to call it social fascism and decided to change it to social democracy or socially democratic or something. So literally in this book, it talks about how fascism is on the left. And like everyone now says that fascism is on the right, is the extreme right. But no, fascism is the step before communism.
Yeah. Did you hear? I've heard this theory. I don't know if you've heard this. That's there's been like talks or discussions or whatever that there was discussions that they considered not stopping Hitler and fascism because he was trying to overthrow Russia. So the thought was that if they let him do that, then communism would have been gone. Then they would just had to have eradicate fascism, which is a step less, you know, a step less severe to whatever. But I think the genocide stuff kind of
put a hindrance on that.
Yeah. You know, that's kind of shitty, but it's interesting to think about that. Like, it's kind of an interesting concept that, yeah, it's a lesser of two evils typically. And people don't really think about that. And people are thinking that communism's cool and they call the right wings fascists when really fascism's on the left with communism.
It was interesting though, like when we were over in Europe, like learning that the communists actually weren't as bad as the fascists. Because they didn't believe in like the mass genocide of one race.
Right, exactly. Yep. But communism overall, it's not. So communism isn't as bad in the short term. It's the long term.
Yeah.
I think is how they look at it.
Yeah. Which is why Europe was able to get out so easily.
Mm-hmm. Right. Yeah. Anyways, you got more on that?
No. That's all I've really retained from the Communist Manifesto.
Nice. Kind of piggying off of everything we've talked about so far, including that, is I'm reading Patrick Bet-David's Your Next 5 Moves. Your Next 5 Steps, Your Next 5 Moves. Your Next 5 Moves. And he makes... The thing that gets me with, like, most books and most things I read is, like, I know that I've just forgotten. Or I've just been worried about day-to-day operations that I forget about that,
like
right?
the long-term stuff?
Yeah. And so I very easily will forget about, like, critical things. That's why I, like, read and listen to podcasts, is to remind myself of those critical things, you know? Because it's so... I want to think this is how most people are, and it's really, for, like, me, this is really... I can easily get caught up into the day-to-day, and everything else goes to the wayside. Like, Sam's seen it over the last 2 weeks. I've, like, missed the gym countless times. I've missed doing multiple different things that I was supposed to do because I've just let myself get engulfed in the day-to-day and just work. And it's bad to do. And the thing is, a lot of the work and stuff, it's not even shit I need to be doing. I could hire it all out. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can hire all that out for cheaper, right? Like, if you look at the reverse side of it, right? Like, I can go get jobs. And by me going and getting a job, I can have 3 guys working at $85 an hour for 3 weeks by me going and getting a job. And so what did that just bring the company? You know, how beneficial was that?
Right.
Compared to me going and helping them, or, like, finishing up stuff so they can move on to the next thing. Like, what did that just do? You know, so me being somewhere doing things for a few days, how much did that just hinder when those guys could have just been all hands on deck for one more day and then move them? And I could have spent an extra 3 days of my time getting another job to keep them busy for 3 more weeks. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And so anyways, I just fucking will get caught in that cycle and fuck myself. But the thing about Patrick Bet-David's book that I started reading that made a lot of sense, I've known it. It's just reminding me, is, like, the actions I have today, although they might seem insignificant, if I keep these actions up, what does that compound in a year, in 5 years, right? In 10 years? Like, what do those actions then have in that time? And so, like one example would be, like, when I started lifting, right? When I started lifting when I was 14, I really only thought about getting rid of my man titties, right? But something I didn't think is, in 5 years, how much discipline had I built by working out 4 to 5 days a week? And then how did that show in my, like, demeanor towards the other things I did? How did I look compared to others? So I automatically got more recognition from other people because I was typically the most jacked person in the room, or one of the most jacked people in the room. And so I did not think the impact that could have, you know, had. Yeah. Another example is, like, my mustache, right? So 4 years ago, I shaved my mustache as a joke. And Sam's like, keep it. And I've had countless people who, like, know me because of my mustache. And they're like, you cannot get rid of your mustache. That is your trademark. Like, I would not know who you were in a crowd if it wasn't for your mustache.
We've even had, like, like we were in a coaching group with Rob Bailey.
Yep.
And Rob Bailey only recognized Shaun because he's just like, I will never forget that mustache.
Yeah, he's like, I recognize that stash. How you doing? Whatever. And we chatted and whatever. But yeah, he was, I've heard this from multiple people, but even he said too, he's like, dude, you cannot get rid of that mustache because when you are in a room like this, people recognize the mustache.
100%.
And
we've seen it around Eau Claire. Like,
oh, dude.
I don't know how many times people will stop Shaun and they'd be like, oh, you were at this thing. And they're just like, it's the mustache.
Or they'd be like, oh, hey, Shaun. And I'm like, oh, my God. How do you even know me? I've never met you.
Yeah.
But anyways, it's so things like that, you don't know. Like, if you sit there and you think, like, if I just did it as a joke and didn't hang out long enough to receive that feedback, I'd have never known, right?
Yeah.
And same thing with lifting. If I had just lifted for a year or two and not gotten that feedback, I wouldn't have known. But if you can sit there and through these experiences I've currently had, and I can sit and I can think about it, right? So like I've experienced with lifting, I've experienced it with the mustache, I've experienced it with like different things in business. So like essentially just like at the start of business, if I just show up every day, if I just show up, just strictly show up, the business is going to keep going, right? Yeah. And if I'm like keeping an eye on budgets, shit like that, whatever. So if I take it and I go, okay, if my goal is to get this much marketing out every week, okay, if I can sit here and I can think about that, okay, if I can get this much marketing out every week, what does that do for me long term? So short term, right, what that does for me is I'm going to essentially get enough work to keep my guys busy.
Yeah.
Well, if I'm putting out this much marketing every week for 10 years, okay, who in the area has not seen my brand? Like, who doesn't know our brand?
Right.
Who doesn't, like, if they see our logo, who doesn't recognize us? You know what I'm saying? So how much brand recognition do we have if I continue putting out a certain amount of marketing every single week? So then what does that turn into, right?
Right.
That turns into people see our logo and they automatically associate that to us. So we will be getting calls and stuff without us having to market directly to that person. Okay, what does that do? That's more people doing work with us. Okay, so that's more word of mouth. So we have more people reaching out through referrals of word of mouth by us doing quality work. That now, by me having done those things, it's similar. I believe it's similar to like lifting weights.
Yeah.
I no longer have to lift 4 days a week, 5 days a week for an hour and a half a session to look the way I look. I can now look the way I look off of 2 days a week for an hour each, So I go from an investment of 8 hours a week to now I can invest 2 hours a week and have the same like impact, right? And so if you look at that with like your marketing, your brand, your things like that, what does that do over time?
I mean, it just compounds technically, right?
Right.
It should.
It's just compounding. Yep. And so then the more steps you can look ahead and the more planning you can do to go, okay, I want to get here. And you break that down and go, okay, if I want this business to be self-running and I want to have X amount of revenue and I want this big of a team, I need to start by doing this. And this, over this many years, by doing these things, will reach me there as long as I'm going through the steps and doing these moves to get to here, right? And so, I mean, that can kind of tie off of our first part of this discussion, which was like buying a house. Or, like house hacking for 10 years or flipping for, 5 houses in 10 years. If you can stick to the plan, if you can see where the hell you want to go and you can stick to that plan, you can get there but you have to be thinking strategically. You have to have the chess pieces to move you forward. You know what I'm saying? Because if you did the flipping thing, you did the every 2 years you flip a house, and after 10 years you have $250,000 extra dollars. What can you invest in with $250,000 that now pays the mortgage on a home that's 3 times the size of your first home or whatever?
Yeah.
You know, like what, like you, like if you're intelligent and you've spent so much time doing that, you can't tell me with $250,000 you can't get some cash flowing real estate that'll pay for that mortgage on the house you want to be at long term.
And that's something we've discussed, like, because it was always up in the air of how long we were going to stay in this house, and then the market kind of went in a direction we weren't liking. So we'll probably end up staying here for a couple more years.
Depends on if we can find something sweet.
Right. Unless if like there, and we discussed this, unless if there's something like something screaming that there is like no way we could say no to. But like staying in this little farmhouse, like we can make it work with kids. Like that's not a problem. We have plenty of yard space, so that's not an issue. It's not like falling apart. Like there's nothing like wrong with this house that we have to move out of. But the things that are right with this house is that we do have plenty of space.
Right.
Yard wise, garage wise, house wise, everything. The mortgage is at a good place where we were able to save money and put it towards things we want, like a freeze dryer. So it's not like, it's not hindering us in any way of saving money for future investments or whatever. And like those are the things that are like the most important to us right now, because like we do obviously have an ideal home in our minds of like what we want to build or buy or something. And sure, we could probably go get it today if we wanted.
Yeah.
But it's going to hinder us.
A lot.
A lot. And so we'd rather be living in something that is going to push us to, one, make our businesses do better. So then we can get more money as like salaries or draws or whatever. So then down the road, we can get that house.
Right.
And two, like have a house that is within our means, but allows us to still go do extra things.
Right.
Because like traveling is another big thing for us too. And so by living in this house and not something that is more practical, we're able to still go travel and it not hinder us.
Right.
So yeah. It's just being logical with things like that.
Yeah.
And our plan was to be in this house for 2 to 5 years anyways.
Right.
So by us staying here for another 3 years is still part of the plan.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know what else I got.
I don't know. You just got to be smart with things. Just in general. There's so many people like we know that that I don't know, they get to a point in life where they think they need to keep up with the Joneses. They need to have the best of everything. They need to go do all these things, but when you look at like, I don't know, I would just rather do what we're doing so then we can have like something cool and awesome and noteworthy in the future. And honestly, when we
have to stress.
Right, and not have to stress about it. Like that's the one nice thing is we have other things to stress about and we don't have to stress about money or anything.
Right.
We're going to have a kid and we know we're going to be fine.
Right.
One thing we always said was before we had kids, we wanted to make sure we had plenty of money saved. So we obviously like anticipate that some of our savings may go down a little bit, but with our life choices that we've made, it won't probably.
No.
Even with like me probably working less, just
right.
Our expenses aren't that high where it's going to affect us even with adding a child.
Yeah, no.
And no child, honestly, they're not going to remember what house you're living in when they're babies.
No.
Nor are they going to care. If it's like, as long as you make it a home to them and be a family, they're not going to know or care what house they live in.
Right. Yep.
I wasn't like, obviously my house growing up like wasn't the greatest. But like I was never embarrassed for what house I lived in until probably I was like 17 or 18.
Yeah. I don't know if I was like ever really embarrassed. Sometimes I was like, why do my friends want to come out here? Because I remember like some of my friends, their parents had nicer houses. I'm like, why is everyone always coming out here? And it was just because like, and what I like figured out as I got older is like, oh, they just want to come out here because we've got endless amount of activities because we had land.
Yeah.
So like we had land. My parents were like, yeah, just do whatever you want, just don't die, and then here's food. And so like I realized like, oh, we've just got freedom out here, and that's why like, because I guess growing up in the country, I was like, oh, I want to go in town and hang out with my friends. My friends growing up in town were like, no, dude, let's country it because we got four-wheelers, we can run around, we do what the hell we want, and we play with guns. And I'm like, oh, dude, that makes sense. So that's what we would do.
Yeah. And I remember I like to hang out at my friends' houses where like I felt like I was part of the family too.
Oh yeah, that makes sense.
So I mean there's like a couple of my friends that like I didn't feel that way and I didn't really care to go hang out with them as much.
Yeah, that makes sense. It is fun to go to places like that where they're like, you know, what's up?
And look at the Crones. I mean,
yeah,
they're still pretty much family to us.
Right. Yeah, that's a good point. That is true. That is cool when it's like that. Very welcoming.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you and Matt hung out a lot growing up?
Hagen?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Look at that.
Oh, it was.
He's pretty much part of your family. You're pretty much part of his.
Absolutely. Yep. And I still stay at his house all the time.
And we still stay at his house.
Yeah, that's how it is, dude. It's like that kind of shit, dude. Well, especially friend-wise. So, like, I'll give you two examples. So, one example for that is, like, Matt. My dad was best friends with his dad. So, like, they grew up, like, raising each other's kids, right?
Yeah.
So, like...
And especially when you have 2 boys, 3 boys that are pretty similar in ages.
4 boys, yeah. 4 boys similar in ages.
Yeah.
And it's the same thing with, like, PJ and Craig, right? And Paul. So, it's like, you've got... Essentially, growing up like that, our parents, their parents... knew that if any of us were there, we're still getting parented. We're still getting so like if we fucked off in front of Dan
was still gonna yell at you.
Dan was gonna fucking yell at us.
Yeah.
Or Paul or whatever, right? And the same thing, if they're over and they fuck off, my dad is gonna chew him too, or my mom, right?
Yeah.
And so like that is good to have that, like those people growing up, you can trust them to like do the right thing, right? But then later on in life, so like that. So then later on in life, like I was best friends with Zach. So that's how it was. Like if Zach came out, he's part of the family. If I was over at Zach's, I'm part of the family, right? And so like there's both ways through a lot of repetition that you are like confident. Like as a parent, you would be confident in your kid going there, knowing that like, yeah, they're welcome there, but they're also disciplined there, you know?
Yeah.
And it's not just a free-for-all, do whatever sort of thing.
And it is nice, too, because, like, that's how my mom gained friends, was because, like, I spent all my time at the Crone's house, so then my mom spent a lot of time at the Crone's house. I mean, my mom didn't have a whole lot of, like, well, she had Deanne. And, yeah, that was the Bowers were our Hagans.
Sure, that makes sense.
They were really good friends before having kids, and then they had 7 kids that were all pretty much the same age.
Makes sense.
We were all paired off, and then there was poor Jordan that didn't have a pair. That's probably why he's the weird one.
Makes sense.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, like, we've talked about that too, like making sure like we have friends that are like that. Like that we have always.
Yeah.
And which is perfect because a lot of our friends, like, we're not too far behind them having kids.
Right.
So it'll be pretty, I think, similar.
Yeah. Yeah, I think so.
And we get to, like, so many of our friends that are also like that are not in Eau Claire. So it's nice, like, because I'm sure our, like, kids will be then, once they grow up a little bit, they'll be excited to go to Ashland because they get to go see the Hagans, or they'll be excited to go to Milwaukee because they get to go see the Roberts.
Right, right.
It'll be fun things like that.
Yep. Yeah, that's a good point. That's true. Fun.
Yeah. So I don't know. It's exciting times in front of us.
Indeed. They are.
I mean, ideally, we want to have, like, when our oldest is 10, like, a cool house to hang out in so that all of our kids' friends can come over and hang out and have fun.
100%. 100%. And then you can get them charring. Got to get the kids charring. It's important. So, all right, cool. You got anything else?
Nope.
All right, gang. That's all I got. Hope you enjoyed it, and we'll catch you on the next one.
See ya.